Coming up on Global Business Key Meeting, China's top leadership sets economic priorities for the second half of 2026 and schedule the 5th plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee. Deepening dialogue, China and the European Union will hold the second session of their new consultation mechanism later this year, following more than 20 rounds of talks already held. And holding steady, the Bank of England has kept its base rate unchanged at 3.75% for a fifth straight meeting, as headline inflation fell to 2.6% in June. Welcome to Global Business. You're watching CGTN. I'm Lincoln Humphreys. China has announced it will hold the fifth plenary session of the 20th Communist Party of China Central Committee in Beijing in October. The decision was made at a CPC Central Committee Political Bureau meeting. The meeting also analysed and studied the current economic situation and made arrangements for economic work in the second half of this year. General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee, Xi Jinping, chaired the meeting.
The meeting noted positive economic momentum of the nation, with new drivers emerging and structure improving, while acknowledging difficulties and challenges. It called for confidence and proactive steps toward high-quality development. It urged better coordination of domestic and international imperatives, balancing development and security, deepening reform and opening up, and accelerating the shift from old to new growth drivers. They also called for a more proactive fiscal policy and appropriately accommodative monetary policy, boosting domestic demand, optimizing supply, improving people's livelihoods, and striving for a strong start to the 15th five-year plan period. On macro policy, the meeting urged to accelerate the disbursement of fiscal funds and bonds proceeds with flexible adjustments to monetary policy tools. To expand domestic demand, the meeting emphasized deepening the AI Plus initiative, improving AI governance, building new pillar industries, and upgrading traditional industries. The meeting highlighted a fair and orderly market competition environment, formulating regulations for a unified national market, deepening reforms of state-owned enterprises, and optimizing the environment for the private sector. It also stressed expanding international trade cooperation, promoting balanced trade, and actively attracting foreign investment. On agriculture, the meeting urged stable income growth for farmers and solid production for a full-year grain harvest. It called for multiple measures to strengthen social security, especially protecting the rights of workers in flexible and new forms of employment. The meeting also stressed ecological protection and advancing carbon peaking and carbon neutrality. The meeting emphasized stabilizing the real estate market, pushing reforms and risk resolution for small and medium-sized financial institutions, and enhancing capital market resilience and confidence. It also called for preventing major accidents and stepping up inspections and management of disaster and safety hazards.
The Communist Party of China Central Committee has held a symposium with non-CPC personages to seek opinions and suggestions on the country's current economic situation and economic work for the second half of the year. Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee, presided over the symposium and delivered an important speech on July 24th. President Xi called for stronger policy support to sustain economic recovery and ensure a solid start to the 15th five-year plan period.
At the meeting, General Secretary Xi Jinping heard opinions and suggestions from leaders of the non-CPC parties, the All China Federation of Industry and Commerce, and representatives of entities without party affiliation on the current economic situation and economic work for the second half of the year. Xi stressed that efforts should adhere to the principle of pursuing progress while ensuring stability, apply the new development philosophy, accelerate the fostering of a new development paradigm, and better coordinate development and security. He called for implementing a more proactive fiscal policy and appropriately accommodative monetary policy, making full use of existing measures while introducing practical and effective incremental policies in a timely manner. Xi also urged stronger counter-cyclical adjustments, greater efforts to expand domestic demand and optimize supply, improve people's well-being, enhance development momentum, stimulate social vitality, and promote sustained economic growth toward higher quality and greater efficiency, striving for a good start to the 15th five-year plan period. Li Qiang, member of the Standing Committee of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee, briefed participants on the country's economic performance in the first half of the year and outlined considerations for economic work in the months ahead. Participants expressed support for the CPC Central Committee's assessment of the current economic situation and offered suggestions on fostering new growth drivers, promoting deeper integration between technological and industrial innovation, expanding consumption and effective investment, advancing high-standard opening up, strengthening basic research, stabilizing employment, and improving standards for the intelligent economy. She said China's economy has withstood pressure and continued to improve in quality despite risks and challenges, at home and abroad, demonstrating strong resilience and vitality. While acknowledging remaining challenges, he called for greater efforts to enhance the effectiveness of macroeconomic policies, tap the potential of domestic demand, deepen reform, expand high-standard opening up, improve people's well-being, and continue diffusing risks in key areas. She also encouraged the non-CPC parties, the All China Federation of Industry and Commerce, and personages without party affiliation to continue offering targeted policy recommendations and help build broad support for high-quality development.
To help take us through some of the key takeaways from the Politburo meeting, we're joined now by Theodore Shaw, founding partner at EE Capital. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. So the Politburo struck quite a balanced tone, I feel, acknowledging improving momentum and new growth drivers while also flagging persistent challenges. In practical terms, what does high-quality development mean at this stage of China's economic cycle, and where do we find the most reliable drivers of that shift over the next year?
Well, I think the high-quality development means moving away from simply building more factories, taking on more debt, just to add size. It's more about building things better, smarter, and cleaner. It's a fine balance among productivity, innovation, equality, and sustainability. I think over the next year, the two major drivers that I can foresee are, number one, targeted policy accommodation, working together with, number two, technological advancement, especially the AI plus initiatives. The policies I want to highlight and stress, the targeted, they're not going to be widespread because the Chinese economy today, despite some weaknesses in certain sectors, are still in decent shape. So it doesn't really call for a widespread easing for both fiscal and monetary policies. But we do foresee some targeted policy which will serve as a floor, making sure the economy stays stable. The key upside comes from technology. So we're not just talking about tech for its own sake, but practical AI being applied to day-to-day industries and all the people around us who are already making use of AI. And by pairing the supportive policies and technology, I think it helps to cut costs, it helps to improve productivity, and also it builds a better foundation for the future years of growth.
We will get to the AI Plus initiative on the tech side shortly, but first, also the meeting signalled a step up in counter-cyclical support with more proactive fiscal policy and an accommodative monetary stance. At the same time, we're seeing early signs of price stabilisation, though domestic demand remains soft in parts. What policy tools or sectors do you expect China to prioritise in Q3 to sustain this recovery?
I think in the very short term, we are foreseeing better implementation and execution of some of the existing policy tools. The most prominent ones, what I can think of, are number one, the government bonds. So the special local government bonds, the ultra-long sovereign bonds that have been issued for a while in the past few quarters are going to step up further in the next quarter, or I should say Q3 this quarter. But what's more important, as I said, is actually the execution, the deployment of capital being raised from the issuance of these bonds. And the other thing is policy bank financing instruments. I think this is relatively new. We have been seeing policy banks also stepping up their measures. They are now providing basically equity for major construction projects before these projects can unlock further bank financing. So we do believe these two are going to be prioritized as major tools, but they are directly going to help upgrading core infrastructure. Projects like expanding power grids, building more national data centers, and also equipment upgrade. I mean, in the past quarters, we've been seeing a lot of measures targeting consumers, helping them to trading products or buy new appliances, etc. But in this quarter, I think we're going to see more equipment trading subsidies targeting manufacturers, targeting large businesses.
There was also an emphasis on balancing development with security while continuing to deepen reform and opening up. In an increasingly fragmented global environment, has the methodology of opening up changed for China now? And are there emerging opportunities or perhaps constraints for international businesses?
I think there are many challenges that we're seeing today, right? Particularly on the geopolitical tension front. And the opening up is, for China today, is a very different playbook. In the past, it was about being accepted, building accesses. But today, I think China is in the position of exporting capabilities. It's about potentially formulating new global economic orders. And the challenges also come with the new products and services that we are providing the rest of the markets, be it in the digital economy, be it in cross-border e-commerce. And therefore, the challenges, some of those that we are seeing are more technical. For example, when it comes to the digital sectors, we are seeing stricter cross-border rules with regards to data security, with regards to privacy protection, and local compliances. Many Chinese companies and businesses are trying to go abroad. They're trying to go set up in other countries. And many of them are not necessarily well equipped with the knowledge and skill sets to address the local compliance issues. And I think we are going to see further improvement on those fronts as well.
And finally, the meeting highlighted boosting consumption alongside the AI Plus initiative. How do policymakers translate those ambitions into real economic activity? What mechanisms will actually put money in consumers' pockets and drive meaningful industrial upgrading?
Well, I suppose AI Plus initiatives are not necessarily going to directly put money into consumers' pockets, but the mechanism works as follows. I think in the short term, we are seeing productivity improvement across different businesses, and that actually improves margin or profitability of those businesses, which allows them to pay their workers better, and that directly translates to some demand for consumption. But the AI Plus initiatives work better than that. I think in many aspects, we're also seeing AI being able to create new jobs, create new businesses, and even new sectors. Despite the fact that many existing workers in the labor force probably are afraid of losing their jobs to AI, which is materializing, we are not downplaying it. But we need to realize that any new technology like what we have seen in the past industrial revolutions that are going to create new jobs. In the case of AI Plus, we are also seeing new businesses. We are seeing a lot of one-man companies, right? Those are not just new jobs. They are improving or increasing entrepreneurship. Ultimately, that leads to more income for consumers, for those small businesses, and also for gig economy workers.
Thank you very much, Theodore Shaw. He is founding partner at EE Capital. Really appreciate your analysis and insight. China rolled out its first nationwide smart home consumer subsidy program in 2026, turning once luxury futuristic tech into affordable daily necessities for ordinary families. To see what that looks like in practice, our reporter He Jingyi stepped inside one of China's newest smart homes.
Welcome home.
灰家模式已开启。
The home adjusts itself around me.
取出了柑橘。
If this feels like something happening in the future, actually it's not. It's happening today, and thanks to China's expanded smart home subsidies, it's becoming even more accessible than ever. 小优，
我在。
我要看电影。
电影模式已开启。
For the first time, smart home products are included in China's National Consumer Subsidy Program. Eligible purchases can receive a 15% subsidy, with rebates capped at 1,500 yuan, around $210 per major appliance.
The focus is no longer simply replacing one old appliance with a new one. The bigger shift is encouraging consumers to upgrade entire living scenarios, from individual products to connected smart home solutions. The goal is to unlock demand from existing households and accelerate smarter lifestyles.
As China's population ages, smart home technologies are also being explored as a way to support independent living.
The recessed sink allows seniors in wheelchairs to pull up closer.
And it's a push toward greener living. But a smart home is not just built in a showroom. It needs to enter millions of real households. So I visited Suning, a major home appliance retailer in China, to find out why smart upgrades are becoming consumers' next home investment.
Previously, consumers might spend around 1,700 to 1,800 yuan on a basic smart lock. Now, with subsidies, they can add only a few hundred yuan more and upgrade to a model with facial recognition and more advanced security functions.
The store manager told me that smart appliances accounted for more than 60% of sales in the first half of this year. And across more categories, intelligence upgrades are becoming a major trend.
I replaced my air conditioner with one equipped with AI-based human sensing technology. There are 2 elderly people in my family. As people get older, direct airflow from an air conditioner can feel uncomfortable. This model can detect where people are and automatically adjust the direction and intensity of airflow, making it much softer. Today, many people are not replacing appliances because the old ones are broken. They are upgrading because they want a better quality of life.
Technology is changing very quickly. Older people may not understand new products as quickly as younger generations. But with patience and learning, these technologies can bring great convenience to everyday life.
Behind these smart experiences is a sweeping transformation across China's manufacturing sector.
For decades, home appliances were just standalone hardware. Today, smart home is a connected, intelligent system. With AI empowering home technologies, appliances can now see, hear, and sense, learning from users and responding to their needs.
With policy support and technological innovation working together, the future of living is no longer waiting at the doorstep. It is already moving inside millions of homes. He Jingyi, CGTN, Beijing.
You're watching Global Business. Coming up next. Deepening dialogue. China and the European Union will hold the second session of their new consultation mechanism later this year, following more than 20 rounds of talks already held.
A vast land of 1.4 billion people. The world's second largest economy. Home to stories of the unexpected, the unimaginable, the breathtaking. Stories that touch the soul. Feel the speed, the passion. Enjoy spectacular natural and cultural landscapes. Feel the thrill of cutting-edge innovations. Discovering China. Global Biz. China Travel. We present a China never seen before. 24/7 at your fingertips.
China says it's maintaining close communication with the European Union to advance bilateral trade and investment talks as both sides prepare for the second meeting of a new consultation mechanism later this year. China's Commerce Ministry says the two sides have been actively implementing the outcomes of the inaugural China-EU Trade and Investment Consultation Mechanism meeting held on June 29. Officials have maintained frequent exchanges over the past month through letters, video conferences and working-level consultations. The ministry says the two sides have held more than 20 rounds of discussions, while 4 working groups have been holding in-depth talks on their respective trade and economic concerns.
China is willing to maintain high-frequency communication with the European side, based on mutual respect and a constructive approach. We are ready to explore practical solutions to each other's trade and economic concerns, promote more balanced and forward-looking China-EU trade, and maintain a stable and balanced partnership between the two sides.
China's electric heavy-duty truck industry is accelerating at an unprecedented pace. The country already operates the world's largest fleet of electric heavy trucks. Sales surged nearly 80% in the first half of this year, and by 2030, China aims to have 1.6 million of them on the road. CGTN's Huang Fei looks at how the country is scaling up electric freight transport.
Heavy-duty trucking is one of the toughest sectors to decarbonize. Bigger batteries mean more weight. Longer charging means lost time, and in logistics, time is money. But China believes it's found a way around that. The country plans to build more than 3,000 charging and battery swapping stations along key freight corridors and logistics hubs by 2030. In Guangdong, the latest megawatt charging technology can deliver around 100 kilometers of driving range in just 5 minutes. These next-generation chargers not only supply power, but also cool the equipment, keeping them operating efficiently, even in extreme weather. For fleet operators, that means lower operating costs, reduced maintenance, and faster turnaround. And those advantages extend well beyond long-haul transport, benefiting heavy trucks working in ports, mines, and other high-density industrial operations.
The plan also covers freight hubs, ports, mining areas, factories, and industrial parks, with a goal to link these facilities into a well-connected and coordinated network.
Government incentives are also making the transition more affordable. Buyers can receive trade-in subsidies of more than $20,000 when purchasing a new electric heavy truck. This year, China has earmarked another $3 billion in ultra-long special treasury bonds to help retire older diesel trucks. The environmental impact is significant. Heavy-duty trucks account for nearly 40% of emissions from China's transport sector, making them one of the country's biggest opportunities for carbon reduction. And China's approach is now going global. The country recently exported 880 electric heavy-duty trucks in its largest overseas shipment to date. According to the manufacturer, the fleet could save customers around $22 million in annual operating costs, while reducing carbon emissions by roughly 80,000 metric tons each year. The question was never whether electric heavy trucks could work. It was whether they could be deployed at scale. China's experience may now provide a roadmap for other countries looking to electrify freight transport. Huang Fei, CGTN, Guangzhou.
Let's keep on trucking to some other business headlines we're tracking for you from around the world. The Bank of England held its policy rate steady at 3.75% on Thursday, marking the 5th consecutive pause and aligning with market forecasts. Analysts attributed the decision to a recent moderation in inflation. Meanwhile, the Eurozone economy expanded by 0.4% in the second quarter, following zero growth in the first quarter. According to analysts, the data suggests the bloc is navigating the energy shock from the Middle East more resiliently than initially feared. And in commodity markets, global gold demand held at 1,269 tonnes in the second quarter, unchanged from a year earlier, the World Gold Council said on Thursday. For the first half of 2026, total demand rose 2% year-on-year to more than 2,500 tonnes. The WGC noted that investment demand is expected to drive growth in the second half. Chinese data centre supplier Zhongji InnoLight made its Hong Kong Stock Exchange debut on Thursday, raising approximately $6.8 billion in what became the city's largest IPO in 7 years. The company is a leading manufacturer of optical transceivers, critical components that power AI data centres by transmitting massive volumes of digital data across fibre optic networks. What sets this offering apart is its roster of cornerstone investors, which includes global institutional heavyweights such as Temasek and BlackRock. One official described the listing as a strong endorsement of Hong Kong's capital market, signalling growing international confidence in the city's financial ecosystem.
This is the largest IPO project in Hong Kong's capital market in nearly 7 years. Zhongji InnoLight is an outstanding representative in the global AI computing power infrastructure sector. Its listing in Hong Kong will continue to strengthen the city's two major growth drivers, finance and technological innovation.
This year, we've seen a clear trend in the capital market. It's all about backing the real economy and boosting high-level self-reliant tech innovation. Looking at the A-share IPO market, there are 3 big takeaways. First, hard tech companies are flocking to the market and getting strong investor support. Second, the Chinex reform is offering more funding options for innovative businesses. Meanwhile, global investors remain very bullish on China's new quality productive forces.
And to other headlines we're tracking for you, the Republic of Korea tech giant Samsung Electronics posted record second quarter revenue and operating profit on Thursday, driven by surging AI demand. Operating profit jumped at more than 1,800% year on year, and net income surged nearly 1,300%. Its shares swung sharply after the release, rising as much as 7% before turning lower. British energy firm Shell reported a 200% year-on-year jump in second quarter net profit to $10.8 billion, boosted by rising oil prices amid the Middle East conflict. Its shares rose at more than 2% in pre-market trading following the update. And German sportswear maker Adidas missed second quarter earnings expectations, weighed down by a more than €200 million year-on-year increase in World Cup marketing spending. Its shares fell 17% on that news. And on that note, we wrap up this edition of Global Business. You've been wonderful company. I'm Lincoln Humphreys in Beijing. We'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.